Okay, so this is for the transformations 2. This is chapter 7.4, and this is the application section for foundation. Okay, so we'll start off with a recap of what we learned in our last session. So a enlargement is a transformation that makes your object bigger or smaller. Okay, you need a scale factor and you need a center of enlargement. Okay, so scale factor can be calculated if you're not given it from the length of the image, so the side length of the image, divided by the length, so the side length of the object. Went through that in the last video, so check back there if you're not sure. Okay, and then we had two different methods of constructing our enlargements and doing our enlargements. So we use construction lines that start from the centre of enlargement. So we start from our centre of enlargement and we project it out through the corners of our object. Okay, or we could count the squares. So we could start at our centre of enlargement and count how many squares in the x and how many squares in the y direction we've gone. Okay, and then we've multiplied both of those directions by our scale factor. So in this example, it asks you to find the centre of enlargement and the scale factor of the enlargement from A, so the little one, to B, the bigger one. Okay, so this is your image. No, sorry, this is your object. This is your image. Okay, so we're going from A to B. So to find our scale factor, we write down our formula. So scale factor is equal to length of image divided by the length of object and we can see that the length of our image, so if we just look at this bottom edge here, that is 3 long. Okay, so it's 3 long in the x direction. You can use any side. I've just picked this last one, this bottom one, sorry. We're going to divide that by the same edge on our object. Okay, so that's this one. So we know that that is 1. Okay, so 3 divided by 1, that's just 3. So our scale factor for this one is 3. So we know that this shape here, so our image is 3 times bigger, our side lengths are 3 times bigger than in our object. Okay, we still need to find our centre of enlargement, so that is, we're going to use projection lines for this one. So we join up this corner with the same corner in our object. We join up the same corner from our image and our object again. And we do the same thing on all of our corners. So this bottom corner joins up with the corresponding one in our object. And then the last one, we join up to start here and we join it to that one. And we can see that they all intercept each other. So they all cross over each other at this point here. So our centre of enlargement for this one is -2, -1. Okay, so that's where we've enlarged from. In example 2, we are asked to describe the enlargement that maps triangle X onto W. Okay, so our our object this time is X. So we start with X and we enlarge that onto W. Okay, so this one would be our image. Okay, so when we're describing an enlargement, we're not told what to find, but we know what is included when we need to do an enlargement. So we need 2 things, that's our scale factor and our centre of enlargement. Okay, so we can find our scale factor and we can find our centre of enlargement in a sec. So we know that our scale factor can be found by the length of the image divided by the length of the object. So if we look at the same side length, so if we look at this bottom side length, it doesn't matter which one you pick, you can see that our image has a bottom side length, a base side length of 1.5. So that's 1.5. We're going to divide that now by 1, 2, 3. So that's our base of our object. Okay, this is tricky to do. 1.5 over 3. It's a bit tricky to do, so we're going to do 10 times the top and 10 times the bottom. Okay, you can do that. It's just basic fraction work. So 1.5 times 10 is 15, and 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, we can see now that 15 divided by 30, 15 is half of 30, so we know that our answer is 1/2. Okay, 15 goes into 15 once, 15 goes into 30 twice. Okay. Then bringing us on to our centre of enlargement, we can see that if we join our corners up, so these two corners correspond to each other, we'll join that up with a nice sharp pencil. The two right angle corners, join those two up. And then this final corner here. So this final corner and this one are going to be joined up. So they are the same corner on our triangles. Okay, so we can see that they cross through at the origin, which is 0, 0. So our centre of enlargement for this one is 0, 0. So that's how you fully describe an enlargement. You need to give the scale factor and the centre of enlargement. Thank you.